Welcome back, everybody. I'm back today with your updates on the EIDL, the grants, and the loans. The SBA is calling you, so be ready because big change is here and it's coming with speed and intensity. You don't want to be left behind for your 24 months of working capital or your $10,000 or your $5,000 grants. I've got the scoop here on the new process from the insiders at the SBA and how to prep yourself for an approval and the reconsideration process if you found yourself with the denial. I've got some insider info on what's really going on here, so you don't want to give up on that site for the 24 months of working capital or your $10,000 or $5,000 grants. Share this video with everybody you know inside the EIDL program, whether they're in the grant or the loan program. You're about to learn something new here today, so let's get you guys all caught up. Welcome back, everybody. I'm back today with that lineup on the EIDL, the grants, and the loans. The SBA is calling you, so be ready, be prepared, because it's coming with more speed and more intensity. I have the insider look of what's happening on the other side with the full process breakdown and methods to avoid the denials and prep for recon. We also have some bad news around the $10,000 grants and the $5,000 grants. We're going to talk about that here coming up later in the video. By the way, if you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Edward Bilder. I'm a financial educator and I teach you those secrets of passive income. That's when you wake up the next day and piles of money show up in your bank account. I live and walk this life each and every day through things like real estate, royalties, the stock market. You can check out my crash course on Airbnb found in the description right now if you want to join this lifestyle. I'm going to do this again. Never trust the comment scammers. I did that yesterday and it seems like a lot of people paid attention when I made a bird noise, all right? Never trust the comment scammers. They are, I want to get them all. I want to get each and every one of them because they trick you into thinking you're talking to one of the big channels here that reports on EIDL like Skip, Max, Jason, myself, and they try and trick you into paying them for some service that they will never give you, like putting you into the priority for the EIDL grants or the loans, all right? Never pay them any money. Never go to Instagram to pay them any money. They just want to scam you and never speak to you again, all right? Never trust the comment scammers, okay? Keep the bird noise coming if it works for everybody to pay attention to that announcement. I have to do it because I get messages every day that they're like, hey, should I pay Skip $600? I trust you, Builder. Let me know what to do. And it's like, no, that's a scammer. Don't do that, all right? Skip would never ask you for $600 to put you in any type of priority, all right? Okay, big changes were announced. We're going to get into the details of the full process, what's happening behind the scenes, and we're going to give you all those tips for avoiding denials, getting yourself ready for a phone call, and recon, okay? Reconsideration process if you have been denied. Let's get into all of it right now. Now, the SBA is calling, okay? They are definitely calling, and you're going to see more and more phone calls over the next couple of weeks because they're trying to work through that backlog of 600,000 in the queue to get through the review process. So I want to just start out by breaking down the full process, which gives you some insight as to where you are exactly in this process. It starts with you, okay? Of course, you have to apply for the loan increase or the modification or the loan for the first time, all right? You do that through the SBA.gov website or using those emails that have been sent, all right? Now, a loan officer will start the review process. This is the review process before it goes to the underwriting. If everything is there and everything is kosher, they will just move it forward to the underwriters. Now, sometimes there's a back and forth between the underwriters, and sometimes that loan officer may have to call you at that point to say, hey, you're missing this one key piece of information before I send it off to the next team. I need it, all right? So they might call you. So be prepared, all right? Now, the loan officer, once they pass it to that underwriter, that is the decider, okay? They make the decision. You don't get to talk to this person on the phone. It's a totally unbiased process. They don't want to hear your backstory because they want to make a clear and clean-cut decision based on the facts only. That underwriter is the person who then triggers, who tells the loan officer to trigger the approval or the denial or possibly the resize button. All right, we're going to talk about what resize means in a minute here. And that could go through a continuous loop because sometimes the underwriter may say, hey, they're missing this key piece of documentation, and they may say, get them to send it to us. And you may see a phone call come from that as well where they're saying, underwriter is missing this, get it sent over to us so we can get this process moving forward, all right? Now, once the underwriter decides, if they say yes to you, some of the loan officers are actually making a phone call at that point because they want to verify the loan amount with you before they could possibly hit the resize button. All right, on the LO side, there's an approval button, there's a denial button, there's a resize button, and then there's that not interested button, which puts you into the withdrawal pattern. We talked about that yesterday on the channel here. But the resize button is pretty important to understand because you yourself may have requested a smaller loan modification amount, but the underwriter is saying, wow, they asked for 100, but they're actually approved for up to 400, or they're actually approved for 350 or 200, or their taxes came back and they want 100, but they're actually approved for 115. So what the loan officers are being told to do is to automatically hit the resize button to put it up to its maximum amount for you as an approval. And some loan officers are calling you ahead of time to ask the question, do you want to be approved for that full amount? Or do you want to stay under, under some of the guarantees that have to come with it, or maybe under some of the collateral that might have to come with this? Are you set for me to hit this resize button? Yes or no? Review it before I hit the button. Other loan officers are actually just hitting the button before they even call you. So some of you are actually experiencing where you've, requested say 200,000 and it came back 250, and you've been approved for that amount before they allowed you to make the decision if you wanted to resize or not. All right. Now, after the underwriting and after the loan officer puts you through that review process, the next step becomes obligation. This is where they make sure that you have all of your hazard insurance in, plus that board resolution. All entities must have the board resolution, which means that you've spoken to every member of that board, asking them if you want to go after this loan and if you guys are going to accept the loan amount. All right. And then next step after obligation is boom, funding, and that's where you're going to start to see your funds come through, which the maximum in the funding process we're hearing right now is about 30 days. I know that's crazy to think that it takes 30 days for you to get funded at that point, but that's what we're hearing. It's approximately 30 days. My lights are getting all screwed up today. It takes about 30 days after that to get yourself that final approval, okay? I got to figure out what technical difficulty I'm going through here today. Now, a few common things I want to go through right now so you can avoid the denial completely and get yourselves approved, or prepare yourself for the reconsideration process, or if you've been withdrawn for the not interested feature. These are the common denials that is coming straight from the insider information. And if you know that this is affecting you, try and avoid it before you get hit with a denial or before you get hit with the withdrawal process, okay? 0 is coming back on your transcripts, or your transcript is stuck in the backlog. It's coming back as not found or with that 0. That's affecting right now 10 to 15% of all applicants, according to my SBA insider info, okay? This means you're going to get a denial that's called cannot verify the business, all right? And it's completely related to those zeros or backlog issues. If you find yourself being requested the voided check, this means that your bank might possibly be too small, or you're part of one of those app banks like Chime, and the SBA system just cannot verify that bank account information. So what they do is they basically delete all of your account information. They'll call you requesting a voided check or email you, and it takes some time for you to get that information back into them, because then they have to re-enter the info and verify it after the fact, right? If you don't get this done in enough time, you can get triggered for that withdrawal or straight to the decline because of your bank account information, unfortunately. Unverifiable information is related to the ID check. If you remember that question, a series of questions that says, hey, what street were you born on? Or tell me a bank account's associated to a car loan, right? They are basically just trying to verify your identity. Unverifiable information is typically followed up with a phone call asking you to submit your driver's license copy front and back in PDF format. Again, if you don't get the stuff in time, denials come and withdrawals come, unfortunately. And that last one, invalid zip code, related to address changes, any form of address change with the 4506T. This is also triggering the withdrawal pattern. Just simply submit your information back in. You could do it through COVID, EIDL increase requests at SBA.gov, or through the PDC reconsideration process to get yourself back into the queue. So get this moving and get yourself prepared. If you get a phone call, an email, have this information ready so you can get yourselves approved right off the get-go instead of finding yourself in that continuous loop over and over again. I hope this helps everybody. I am going to track this here on the channel, so remember to become a subscriber and turn on the notification bell if you want your EIDL updates each and every day. I'm here for you guys all the time with updates. Remember to become a subscriber and join us today. And before you guys leave today, remember to swing by the description and check out my crash course on Airbnb. I'm going to extend my sale until today. Today will be the last day that you could grab that sale at a steal, because today's the last day of the month. You can get into the real estate game with a $50 bill in your hand. You don't have to own the real estate. Start cash flowing in 3 business days through Airbnb, earning an extra $5,000 to $10,000 each and every month. And when you want to scale that process up, you just repeat it over and over again, earning more and more money. I live and walk this life each and every day, and later today, I'm actually going to go out and purchase even more properties for my Airbnb collection, because I get all these piles of money over here through the passive income secrets that I've been telling you about, and put that money right back into real estate to expand my business and keep it growing and growing and growing, all right? Wake up every day with me, earning an extra $5,000 to $10,000 each and every month. It just shows up in your bank account, all right? If you guys want to learn how you could partner with me and my Airbnbs, join my Zoom calls Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Find me on Instagram if you want to join that list, or leave a comment down below. And remember to grab that crash course today, because today is the last day that it will be on sale, and start changing your lives, changing your futures, and get yourselves a new tomorrow. And don't forget to tune into my future content, where I'm going to teach you guys how to scale and grow your business through simple social media techniques, things that you could automate and just watch that top line growth just creep on up and up and up and up, all right? And guys, don't forget, I'm going to teach you the secrets of passive income using things like royalties, real estate, and the stock market, things like Airbnb. Remember the crash course to get you guys that passive income you need each and every day. Before you leave, grab your free stuff in the description. I have a whole free stuff section where you can get yourself free stocks, free crypto, free sign-on bonuses through Webull, BlockFi, M1 Finance, and Robinhood. And don't forget to get on my list for priorities 1 and priorities 2 if you're stuck waiting as far back as February for your targeted advanced grant or your supplemental advanced grant. There is some bad news buzz out there right now that they are talking about taking that $25 billion and reallocating it towards the new infrastructure bill, the new, well, it's not even a stimulus package at this point, but moving it towards the new infrastructure bill, because they're saying these funds are just left sitting there, all right? So you don't want that to happen to you. Get yourselves onto that priority so that you're not forgotten about and left in the dust. And also, don't forget, I have that ACH transfer list. I send these lists out periodically to our favorite congressmen and women. Find me on Instagram or leave a message right down below if you're still stuck in the bank returns process because of those chime banks and those app banks. I wish you all the best. I'm going to catch you all on the next one. Bye for now, guys.